Hello and welcome to the new versions of both the Nest app and the Nest add-on for Splunk. Today I want to give you a demo of the full setup of everything from the Nest add-on, where we're collecting data, all the way to visualizing the data in the Nest app. We're going to go ahead and get started, and to do that, once both of these, both the app and the add-on are installed in your Splunk instance, you'll want to go to the app screen in Splunk and find the setup link. We're going to start out with the Nest add-on for Splunk because that's where we're doing the data collection, which is our first step. Once you click on Setup, you'll get to the Nest add-on configuration page. Here is where you can enter the name for a key. It can be just something unique, and then an API key. To obtain an API key, we've included some instructions. So to start out, up at the top, you can visit this URL. So we'll right-click on that and open it in a new tab. Now this is going to take us to an authentication screen. So we'll just sign into our Nest account. If you have two-factor authentication, you'll want to obtain a two-factor code and then log into the account. And the next screen you'll get is just an overview of everything that this add-on is doing. So it's going to be looking historically at your thermostat data. It's going to be looking historically at your Nest Protect data. You're going to be able to look at your home and away status, and you'll also be able to view your postal code. Now, to be clear, Splunk is not collecting this data and storing it somewhere else. The only collecting of data that's going to be done here is whatever you're doing with the data. So you're going to set up this add-on and collect it in your local Splunk instance. So we just want to be clear and candid about that. So we can hit accept, and next we'll be taken to our actual API key. So we're basically confirming all this and being given a token to be able to access that data. So we'll copy everything inside of the quotation marks there and paste that into our configuration screen, and then hit add key. And we should get notified that we successfully added a key, and then the final step will be to restart the Splunk install. So we can do that and then hang out for a second. Right, so once that restart takes place, we can go ahead and hit OK and log back in. So once we're logged back in, the first thing we'll want to do is look at the Nest app for Splunk. We've improved a lot with this app, and it no longer relies on any lookup tables to build. So once you log back in, open up the app, as long as you've generated data in your Nest account, you should start seeing data pretty much instantaneously. So in our main Nest screen, we can take a look at average temperature inside. We can look at smoke alarm battery health, time at home versus away. I've been home all morning, so that makes sense. Sometimes the only reason that this panel would take a little bit to delay is to load is if you don't have data in your account. If you go to your Nest app and turn on the heat, turn off the heat, you should start to generate some data. But yeah, and we can look at other locations. So I have my parents' home here, so I can take a look at their house as well. I can see that their smoke alarm battery health is okay. I can see that they have one smoke alarm and no thermostats, and I can see that they've apparently been away all morning, which I might need to ask them about. They are on vacation actually, so that makes sense. If we click on our thermostats pane, we can take a look at more temperature related data, humidity, that sort of thing. And I have one thermostat, so I can see that over the last 4 hours my minimum inside temperature, my maximum inside temperature. I can flip between Fahrenheit and Celsius, and then I can look at my temperature over time. So this is my outside temperature, since I have the Weather Underground app connected, and we do have instructions in our documentation for that. It's very straightforward. Then I can also see, my actual inside temperature over that given time frame has been fairly static, and then the energy saving mode. So been doing good. It's the summertime here, so I don't really need to have my heat on, so that makes sense as well. And then finally, we can look at our Nest Protect pane. We have the ability to switch between different smoke alarms. So I have my kitchen listed, I have my living room. I can see that I ran a manual test yesterday, so that's great. My battery health is looking good, so Both of those are great values to see. And I can take a look at my parents' house as well. So let's see what mom and dad are doing. 178 days since our last test, so I'll probably give them a phone call later on today. And then I can also see that their battery health is looking good. So that's it for this demo. Hopefully this helped you out in terms of getting the app set up. A quick 5 minutes and you're up and running with your Nest data. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly on Splunk Answers. All right, happy Splunking.